Through Her Black Eyes: How Slavery in America Affected How Black Women Viewed Black Men for Protection. By Aramis Brasil. The institution of slavery in America had a profound impact on the way black women viewed black men. For centuries, black women were subjected to the sexual and physical abuse of white men, and they often looked to black men for protection. However, the reality was that black men were also powerless to protect black women from the violence of white supremacy. This created a deep sense of vulnerability and distrust in black women, which continues to impact the way they view black men today. One of the most devastating consequences of slavery was the sexual abuse of black women by white men. Black women were considered to be the property of their white masters, and they were often raped and sexually exploited. This sexual violence had a profound impact on black women's sense of self-worth and their ability to trust black men. In addition to the sexual abuse, black women were also subjected to physical violence by white men. They were beaten, whipped, and even killed for even the slightest infraction. This violence created a deep sense of fear and insecurity in black women, and it made them even more reliant on black men for protection. However, the reality was that black men were often powerless to protect black women from the violence of white supremacy. Black men were themselves enslaved, and they could be beaten or killed for even trying to defend a black woman. This created a deep sense of frustration and anger in black men, and it made it even more difficult for them to provide the protection that black women needed. The legacy of slavery continues to impact the way black women view black men today. Black women are still more likely to be victims of sexual violence than white women, and they are still more likely to live in poverty. This makes them more vulnerable to the violence of white supremacy, and it makes them more reliant on black men for protection. However, the reality is that black men are still often powerless to protect black women from this violence. This creates a deep sense of distrust and insecurity in black women, which makes it difficult for them to build healthy relationships with black men. The way black women view black men is a complex issue with a long and painful history. The legacy of slavery has created a deep sense of vulnerability and distrust in black women, and it continues to impact the way they view black men today. However, there is hope for the future. As black women and black men continue to work together to dismantle white supremacy, they can begin to build healthier relationships based on trust and respect.